types of economies. First is the better allocation of resources. So, a socialist economy leads to better and efficient allocation of resources for a number of reasons. A guide to learner. Here, this is Sriparna. Hope all of you are doing great. In my last session, we have already discussed the concept of capitalistic economy, its features, merits, and demerits, and the characteristics of developed and developing economies. So, today we are going to explain some new concepts under types of economics chapter. So that's why this is known as part 2. So if you have missed my part 1 of types of economies chapter, so please go and check my description box and my first comment where the previous session link is already shared. So learner, move on the next slide. So here we can see some concepts. So the first one is concept of socialism. So that includes the definition of socialistic economy, features, merits, and demerits also. And now going to the last topic, that is capitalism versus socialism, that indicates some differences between capitalistic economy and socialistic economy. So learner, let's start the explanation of socialistic economy and now move on. So here we can see the definition of the socialism or socialistic economy. So socialistic economy is defined as an economic system in which the means of production are owned by the entire society. So in a capitalistic economy, productive forces are owned by the private owners, and here means of production or productive forces are owned by the entire society and operated by the public authority according to the general economic plan for benefit of the entire community. Okay, for example, Soviet Russia was the first country to establish a socialist or communist economy. Okay, the socialist economic system continues to exist today to some extent in some countries like China, Cuba, and Vietnam. So now move on the next slide. So here we can see some features of the socialistic economy. So the first one is socialistic ownership of productive resources. So, social or collective ownership of productive resources or forces is one of the most important feature of a socialist economy. All the productive resources such as land, mines, factories, machineries are owned and controlled by the state only. Okay, so now going to the next one, that is economic planning. Economic planning is an essential feature of a socialist economy, because planning replaces the price mechanism in the socialist economy. All important decisions regarding what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce, and allocation of resources, savings, and investments are taken by the state or government only. Okay, so now going to the third one, that is social welfare as the motivating force. So social welfare is the chief motivating force behind all economic activities. The motive of social welfare replaces the profit motive of capitalism. A socialist economy seeks to maximize the interest and welfare of the entire society. So now going to the fourth one, that is economic equalities. A socialist economy is based on the principle of the egalitarianism. So it aims at introducing equity in the distribution of income and wealth. It also aims at providing equal opportunities or equal opportunities to all also. Okay, so now going to the fifth one, that is classless society. A socialist society aims at establishing a classless society. As well, the productive resources are owned by the state. So, capitalist class simply does not exist. All people earn their income by working for the state. So, they get their income in the form of labor income, and there is no scope of unearned income. So, class distinctions don't exist in a socialist economy. It means there is no scope of economic exploitation in a socialist economy. So, it is a classless society. So, now going to the sixth one, that is elimination of competition. The socialist economic system eliminates the competition of all types, since the government has the monopoly of the production of all types of goods in a socialist economy. So there is no scope of competition and rivalry among different production units. So in a socialist economic system, competition is eliminated and a spirit of cooperation and the mutual goodwill prevails. So now going to the next slide, where we can see some merits of socialistic economy. The first one is the better allocation of resources. So a socialist economy leads to better and efficient allocation of resources for a number of reasons. As at first, production is done with the objective of the maximization of the social welfare. Secondly, in a socialist economy, allocation of resources is made by the planning authority to promote social welfare. And last but not the least, socialist economy is able to eliminate various types of wastage of resources like expenditure and advertisement. Clear? So now going to the second merit, that is full utilization of resources. A socialist economy ensures the available resources are fully utilized. The planning authority would not like the resources to go the unutilized, keeping in mind the welfare of the society. So unemployment is eliminated under socialism also. So now going to the third one, that is elimination of the economic instability. So it is one of the important merits of socialistic economy. So all economic decisions are taken by the central planning authority after undertaking a comprehensive survey of needs and resources of the economy. So therefore there is no possibility of the overproduction and underproduction, that is booms or depression. So moreover, prices of goods and services are regulated by the state. So now going to the fourth one, there is equitable distribution of income. So, a socialist economy brings about equitable distribution of income. It aims at the establishment of the egalitarian society. It provides equal opportunities to all, irrespective of caste, color, creed, etc. So, now move on the fifth one, elimination of class struggle. That means there is no class struggle. A socialist society is a classless society, therefore, there is no scope of class struggle. So, in a socialist society, state is the employer who is guided by the social welfare motive only. The state has no reason to exploit their workers. So, now move on the sixth one, that is provision of social security. So, there is a provision of social security. So, in a socialist economy, the state undertakes various social security measures with the objectives of providing basic facilities to all. So, now going to the seventh one, that is in there is increase in productive efficiency. So, great virtue of the socialistic economic system is that it ensures a higher productive efficiency. So this is for a variety of reasons. So there are equal opportunities for all are provided jobs, all are provided social security, there is no exploitation, there is no wastage of resources, resources are allocated in optimal way, and there is no unutilized production capacity. Now going to the next one, that is rapid economic growth. So it ensures, so rapid economic growth ensures a more effective and efficient utilization of the available resources, obviously, and it ensures a higher economic efficiency also. So now going to the last one, that is more production of the necessities and social goods, not the luxurious products. Okay, so in a socialist economy, luxuries are not produced at the cost of necessities of life. So more emphasis is given on the production of the basic necessities and commodities of mass consumption, such as food, clothing, etc. Moreover, the state lays more emphasis on the production of the social goods like drinking water, roads, defense services, etc. And these goods are consumed by all the people taken together. So now move on the next slide where we can discuss some demerits of socialistic economy. The first one is difficulties involves in the rational allocation of resources. So it is an important shortcomings of the socialist economy. So it is difficult to achieve the rational allocation of resources. The reason is that there is no proper basis of cost calculation. Okay, so now move on the next one, that is loss of incentive and efficiency. A socialist economy may not lead to attainment of the maximum efficiency for many reasons. First, there is a lack of appropriate incentive system to motivate people to work hard and improve their efficiency. Similarly, there is no incentive to innovate new methods of production. Secondly, industry and other economic activities are managed to bureaucrats. So these bureaucrats are not as efficient as the private owners or entrepreneurs. Okay, so now move on the next one, that is loss of efficiency. Sorry, the loss of incentives. So there is an absence of appropriate incentives in a socialist economy because their jobs are protected whether they work efficiently or inefficiently. They may not have incentives to work hard. So that's why abolition of the private property, free enterprise competition reduce the incentive to work. So now move on the next one, that is the loss of freedom and consumer sovereignty. Loss of freedom. So there is no private enterprise in a socialist economy. So the freedom of occupation is absent. Consumers don't enjoy choice in a real sense. In the absence of economic freedom, people are not able to enjoy civil and political freedom. So there is no freedom of speech and expression in socialist countries also. And now go to the next part, that is the loss of consumer sovereignty. Loss of consumer sovereignty is the one of the biggest shortcomings of socialist economy. So production is no longer guided by the preferences of the consumers. A socialist economy produces goods and services of a limited variety. So therefore consumers are denied the choice among varieties of goods. So consumers get only those goods which the central planning authority decides to produce. Okay, so there is loss of consumers freedom. So now move on the fourth point, that is concentration of the economic and political power. So the socialist economy leads to concentration of both economic and political power in the hands of the government. So productive resources are owned by the government, so economic activities are controlled and directed by the government only. So this increases the power of government over the individuals. And now move on the last one, that is loopholes in the planning process. So the planning mechanism may not work efficiently because of various loopholes in it. Inadequate informations regarding economic resources, preferences of the consumers, inadequate statistical data regarding production of various types of goods and services. So that's why it may stand in the way of efficient functioning of the planning process. So, socialist economies are totalitarian in nature, but it has lost its popularity in recent years due to above mentioned some reasons. So now move on the next slide. So here we can see some differences between capitalistic economy and the socialistic economy. So at first we have to discuss the capitalistic economy. So capitalistic economy have uh, profit maximization objective. So here we can see another differences between capitalistic economy and socialistic economy. So the sixth one is economic power is concentrated in the hands of the capitalist economy in the uh, So, in the capitalist economy, economic resources are owned by private individuals or private owners. So, the right to own private property exists in the capitalistic economy. But now, going to the socialistic economy, so economic power is concentrated in the hands of the government. So, all economic resources are owned by the state or the government only. So, now going to the next one. In the capitalistic economy, there exist large inequalities in the income and wealth distribution. But in the socialistic economy, there exist equalities in the income and wealth distribution because it is based on the principle of the egalitarianism. Okay? So now going to the last differences in the capitalistic economy, there exist class struggle among various groups, but in the socialistic economy, it aims at establishing a classless society. So, socialistic economy is a classless society. So, I think the differences between capitalistic economy and socialistic economy is clear to everyone. So, so, learner, we are done for the today's session. In this session, we have discussed the definition of socialistic economy and their merit, demerit features, and some differences between socialistic economy and capitalistic economy. So, I hope it will be very helpful to all. So, I will be back again with a new session. Till then, stay tuned. Please like, share, comment, and do subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Happy learning.